Can ginger help with weight loss? You are going to be shocked with my findings. If you're a mom, a grandma, a sister, an aunt, pretty much any female on the planet, you've probably been told by your doctor, by your OB-GYN, that ginger is super important in nausea and really good for pregnancy. But what are some other great health benefits of ginger? Well, in my clinic, I share these with all of my patients, especially my female patients, because man, ginger's got some benefits. So you want to bring her into your life. And it helps you talking to a ginger. It is wonderful, and we really eat what's called that root of that plant. So how can we do this? Well, some people will make ginger tea, they'll have ginger water, they'll add it to their food, which I think is a great way, or we could take it supplement form, which we'll talk about at the end. But I want to dive into our list why all women should be including ginger in their life. The first reason is that ginger can help with inflammation. If you're a fan of this channel, if you are a patient of mine, you know I am huge on the anti-inflammatory lifestyle, just because as we're age, our body's inflammation increases, which absolutely stinks, which I don't want to happen, but let's be honest, it does. And with the year we've had in 2020, now that we're 2021, oh my gosh, I want to fight inflammation like no one's business. And I want you to fight inflammation as well. And particularly, ginger can help with osteoarthritis. It involves the degeneration of the joints in our body. And unfortunately, I'm seeing this in a lot of patients who are younger and younger. We're waking up with joint pain, we just hurt, and particularly our knuckles and our knees. A review in Osteoarthritis and Cartilage showed that people who consumed 500 milligrams to 1 gram of ginger a day saw significant reductions in pain. So what does that mean? It's not like, hey, 1 out of, 200 or so. This means a lot of folks showed that repetition and that decrease in pain, which to me is huge because when we're in pain, we don't want to cook, we don't want to prep, we don't exercise, and that can lead to weight gains. And in addition, I want to look at my notes so I'm saying this correctly. A 2011 study showed that a pretty big combination of items, one of them included ginger, but the others were cinnamon and sesame oil. Folks saw significant reduction in osteoarthritis, and particularly in the knee. Ginger can drastically reduce blood sugar levels and insulin levels. What's absolutely frightening about this, now again, I kind of always compare things to my clinic. I've been seeing patients for years now, and I am starting to see the relationship of folks' high blood sugar get lower and lower in age, and particularly in their 30s and their 40s. And I feel like we always thought like high blood sugar is only something that happened to Grandma Ethel. And now we're seeing it happen to our best friends and to ourselves. So unfortunately, because so many of us don't go to the doctor or haven't been to the doctor, especially in 2020, with folks being shut down, and that's the scariest thing. It's like, please keep your doctor's appointments and your mammograms, friends. We can't really statistically say how many folks have high blood sugar, but I am really adamant that that number is going to be really high. And with pre-diabetes, I believe the last statistic I saw was that 34% of Americans have it. That means 1 in 3. So if you work in a firm with 10 folks, that means 3 of y'all are pre-diabetic. So think about it in that term. So in specifically what the ginger do. 41 participants, and I know that y'all are gonna say just 21. You know, when I see good news, I wanna jump on it. It's kind of like, this is how I look at studies a lot of time. I look at them as a toxic relationship, and then I look at it as a good one. And sometimes we need to see the good in things before we're like, oh, well, it didn't work for 3 people, but it worked for 41. I mean, come on, folks. But anywho, let me get off my soapbox. But 41 participants were giving 2 grams of the ginger powder daily, and this lowered their fasting blood sugar by 12%. So this is huge, gang, because again, when I see folks in clinic, I'm like, what's your blood sugar? What's your blood sugar? What's your blood sugar? You know, someone who's in the 140 range, if we can drop it by 12%, that's huge. That is amazing. So yes, that is great news. A 2016 study with 80 overweight and obese individuals found that ginger can reduce blood insulin levels. So we're seeing that reduction in insulin resistance. Wow, I'm super excited about it. This is promising research, and hopefully down the road that we're seeing that, what happened in 2020 is walking away from us. We'll start to see more and more of these research studies done like this. Okay, ladies, let's talk about something embarrassing, and that is cramps. Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about. Cramps. And I'm like, Lord Jesus, bring me to Jesus right now. but menstrual cramps. We can't get away from it, ladies. Every month, and in fact, some of my folks, especially my PCOS patients, you know, we may be unfortunately bleeding every 2 weeks. We may skip a month, a little frightening, and we can talk about that later in a different video. So there was a really cool study. It put folks in 3 groups. So we have this group over here, this group in the center, and this group right here. So this group over here was given ginger. In particular, they were given 400 milligrams of ginger. Okay, so they were given a supplement. This group right here was given ibuprofen. Very common, you know, we'll take it, we'll tell our husbands to run to the store and grab us some. And this group right here took another substance, mefumenic acid, which is kind of another over-the-counter item that you can take. But ibuprofen is really the more common one that folks will get. Some of the teens will go get Midol and those type of items. But it found that ginger reduced the pain as effectively as others. And y'all know how I feel about medicine. Later on down the road, I got some really cool videos planned. I'm really transforming this channel into more of a health tip style channel about medicines that may cause weight gain and why we don't want to take medicines all the time. But such a promising study. And then finally, here's what you've been waiting for. I know y'all like, Shelly, get to the weight loss part, girlfriend. Ginger does play a role in weight loss. Da, 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 da. Thank you, ginger. So a 2019 review concluded that ginger supplementation significantly reduced body weight and waist to hip ratio. Now, waist to hip ratio is something we're really going to focus on down the road, because typically the smaller our waist is, the least likely we are to have issues with heart disease. And for women, that's crazy important. And we kind of think of it as the apple shape or the pear shape, but really we want to kind of see a really nice difference between that waist and that hip. The big question is, how can we get ginger in? And at the start of the video, we talked about things like ginger tea. We talked about ginger water, where you can just take the root and boil it, which is something that I'll do sometimes, or I'll throw it in tea. I'm really trying to, you know, think of really creative ways to use it. You can also put it usually works on a chicken dish. But I know a lot of folks are going to say, well, what's the deal with supplements? Well, we have to be careful. Number one, when you're supplement shopping, especially for ginger, know sometimes that taking ginger may cause a little bit of a tummy ache. We have to remember it's a powder, it's a flour, we may get that slight tummy action. And then we want to make sure, first off, we are buying a supplement that is non-GMO. That means that they have nothing added to it. Then, to make it the most effective form of ginger, we want it to contain about 10 milligrams of biopurine. And I may be mispronouncing that, so I'll have the word right here what it is. And this amount ensures proper absorption, because sometimes these supplements need something else to help it absorb. And pretty much what this is, it is derived from black pepper extract. So it's something that is natural, so you don't have to worry about, I'm telling you, something scary to take. So this, again, it helps increase the absorption, it helps increase the bioavailability, and this also has been found in conjunction with the ginger can help to decrease inflammation and joint pain. So that's super important. Now again, some folks, we like to get the best bang for our buck, and later down the road we're going to do a video on turmeric, but you can get a combination one with turmeric. And particularly about 1,000 milligrams of turmeric is what you're looking for. And when turmeric and ginger combine, it's like they're good best friends. You know, it's like they're, you know, I'm gonna have to just call them like the Powder Puff Girls. I mean, they just fight crime together. It is fantastic. We love it. And particularly what it does is it increases the potency of both, so that there are antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. And then finally, 8% of total gingerols. And again, this simply just helps with that absorption rate of that product. What do I look at? Around that 500 milligrams to 1 milligram of that ginger. And for the ones that I like, you can scroll down below. Those are my favorites, the exact ones that I encourage my patients to take. And while you're down there, go ahead and download our 7-day keto and anti-inflammatory menu. My name is Shelly. Let me know what you thought of this video, and I'll see you soon.